Hi everyone, and welcome to another beautiful morning in my Swedish kitchen garden. My name is Sara, and I run this YouTube channel, Sara's Kitchen Garden, from my kitchen garden and house in Sweden, in south parts of Sweden. And I am starting my workday this week by just stopping by and sending all of you a huge hug and saying thank you for the response on one of my latest videos. But before I talk to you more about that, I just want to show you very quickly a few pictures from my garden at the moment, but it's so beautiful. It's so beautiful this morning, and I just sent one of my boys to school, and I wanted to spend a few minutes with you because it's been quite overwhelming the last couple of days for me. So, but let me just turn the camera and show you my kitchen garden and how it looks right now. Starting from here, this is kind of my favorite view in the garden. Oops. Hi, Cynthia. I know it's not the perfect time for a live because many of you are going to bed at the moment, but then you will see this when you wake up. So it's in the end of August, and this time of year, when I wake up in the morning, our house is like shaded, and that is because we have the huge trees here and the sun goes up here. So it's just about now that the sun reaches our house. And this is a very old house. It's 200 years. And me and my family lives in this little cottage. Hello, Benny. I hope you're having as nice morning as I have also in Norway. I am just showing you very briefly a few parts of my garden before I get to talk more to you. I will give you a better tour in the garden now when it's summer. Next week I will tell you more why I have chosen that date in just a few seconds. Now I'll just show you some beauty. And this time of the day it's very difficult to take photos and to film because I can see my own shadow all time. Oh, thank you, Cynthia. I'll just walk the pathways and show you. The brassicas. Most of them looks very healthy. I didn't use any like poison to get free from the caterpillars, but well, I don't have any this place. I just got back from a couple of days on the west coast together with my children. Two of them are sick now. They're having a cold, so they are home from school. And you know, as it is when you have been away from your garden a couple of days and you get back and you can't just believe how everything developed in just a few days. And this is the case with my garden as well. So that's how it looks this morning. I will try to find a place where I can sit down without having too much sun in my face. No, that's not good. Oh, I am happy too, Cynthia, about the drought. It's been a good summer. It's been, for some areas, it has almost been too wet. It's difficult. You are never pleased, right? Well, this is not a perfect place, but I wanted to stop by. Good morning, Lena. And say thank you to all of you who have been watching one of my latest videos. Last week I published a short tour around my friend Nini's wonderful cottage garden in Sweden. And I have been friend with Nini for many years, and I wanted so much to share something from her garden. And it's as if I have always waited for, you know, the perfect time. And it's like with babies, it's the same with gardens. It's never a perfect time. You just have to do it. So a couple of days ago, I just filmed a short tour with my phone, actually. Oh, from Switzerland. Hello there. So I just walked a short tour, and it was just after an August rain in her garden. And me and the kids were there, and we were just supposed to leave or get something. So I made this short video and published it. And my God, you have been watching it and sending me the most amazing comments. So I am quite overwhelmed, and this is the thing that I like and love with YouTube, that you never know what kind of video will get people's interest, right? So you publish something and you never know where it ends up, and that's really good. I know how it works, so I am kind of prepared that this could happen. But for my friend Nini, I mean, she is just overwhelmed. And we talked a few days ago before I left to the West Coast with my children, and she was she was amazed and she couldn't believe it. And I think it's like that for most of us doing garden things in our home, in our home gardens, that we have those projects. It's like on our own. We may share it with a partner, but we never have, you know, the crowd in our gardens to help us out and to get feedback and everything. We do what we love to do and what we are passionate about, and then we enjoy it so much. And if you, like me, maybe run a garden blog or something, you get feedback all the time, but it's not the same as, you know, when the kids come to me and say it looks like beautiful and this is perfect and everything. I mean, you get very happy. And when I share a video and someone says that my garden is beautiful, I get so happy. But if you have done this for like a whole life and you have never had that kind of feedback from people all over the world, I mean, you couldn't believe it. And this is how we feel at the moment. And I want to thank all of you who have watched the video and sending all those kinds of, you know, love to my friend Nini. She is overwhelmed. And I'm sorry, I see this slug. I need to kill all slugs that I see. I'm sorry to do this. Sorry to interrupt this, but that is my strategy, to kill all the slugs that I can see. Well, anyhow, I thought that I would give you a short interview with my friend Nini, but I might post it on the blog. I hope you have found my English blog. I do run, it's actually one of Sweden's most read blogs, you know, all categories. It's amazing, and I write about slugs and worms and spinach and that kind of the strange things, but people really like it. And in it's a year and a half ago we started to translate it to English, and I really like the idea of getting in touch with the people all over the world by this. So I think I will publish. Sorry, it was just a notification. I will publish an interview with Nini on the blog, maybe. Oh, Nini, you are watching. You are watching. That's that's lovely. Good morning, Nini. I am just sending all the viewers a nice and warm thank you from both of us for all the people who have watched your video and commented it. I hope you have read the comments, Nini, because people are overwhelmed and they just love your garden. And also saying that I want to publish a short interview with you on my blog, because I know that some people have questions about, well, how long you have been working in your garden, and I know that you can share a few garden tips with us. And I wanted to say this. Oh, my water system starts to make some noise, but I hope it's okay. I also wanted to say that a few of you commented saying, yes, I can understand why you, Sarah, feel the joy of going to Nini's garden, for example. And the thing is that sometimes when I come to a certain garden, I feel almost stressed because I get so inspired. And especially if I am in a garden where someone are, I mean, so attached to growing vegetables and growing food, I sort of collect ideas and I want to go immediately at home and do something about it. but Nini's garden is, it's a completely other experience for me. So I come there and I can never achieve a bit of it. I think in my own garden, it's like heaven. So, and I think that is why I feel so much peace when I come there, because I don't have to do any of it when I come home, you know. So I can experience all the things I have in my garden, and I can then experience the things I see and well, I am surrounded with in Nini's garden, and that's beautiful, I think. So thank you, all of you watching this video and sending us the love and happy words in the comment fields. We really appreciate it. And I know as well that Nin is watching and sending you a lot of thoughts too. Anyhow, this week I am finishing another manuscript for a book. And for you guys who are new to this channel, you may not know anything about me and what kind of channels you bumped into. So I just wanted to say something quickly about that before I get going with my manuscript. So my name is Sara Bäckmo, and I live in this cottage in the south parts of Sweden with my family. My husband Philip, he is a psychotherapist and he works mainly with couples. He does great help for them. Hi, Cynthia. I will answer your question in just a short while, Cynthia. And we have 4 children. Otto, he is 10 years. Viggo is 9 years and was soon to be 9. Alba is 7 and Lua is 3 years old. And we also have a Newfoundland dog and we have 4 cats. And 2 rabbits, not to forget. And my job has been for 20 years to talk, to be the host of like radio shows and in TV shows as well. I have been a part of a team in the Swedish National Broadcasting TV, making children's programs and news and things like that. But in 2014, 2015, I quit my job at the Swedish radio and I started my own business mainly about this garden. So for several years, I have run this Swedish blog at sarabäckmo.se. Now it's translated also to English at sarabäckmo.com. I hope you can read some of it. And connected to this, I also do a lot of speeches about the garden. I travel a lot and I make YouTube videos. And I also have like a membership content on my Swedish site. We are going to release that for the English website as well in the beginning of next year. Because I have been written like articles for magazines about gardening. And my idea the last couple of years have been to, well, not selling it to magazines, instead selling it directly to the readers through the website. And it's been working so good, and we are like overwhelmed about the response. So it's a really nice kind of job. And when I say we, it is actually my team. We are 5 people, I think, working with this. It's like a net magazine about gardening. So it's really nice. And I also write books. So in just a few weeks, my next book, it's a calendar, a 5-year calendar for a garden, is released. I was going to show you the book, but I have only one piece of book. It's the one you get from the publisher to show and to have for yourself. But since I don't see my parents that often, I brought the book to them and I gave it to my mother. So now she's got it, and I don't have any until next week. So I can't show you. But the book is released in a couple of weeks, and we have sold a huge amount of books. It's like thousands and thousands of books through the website, and I can't believe it. But that's how it is. Hi, Louise. It's nice and sunny. I will soon take you through a short walk through the garden. I will just talk a bit more. No, there's a cabbage butterfly. I will have to put the net on. I have the kale and the cabbages have been without net. It's over there for nearly a week. I don't know how that will affect the plants, but hopefully they will look nice also after this. Right, so this week I am finishing another manuscript. And I think when I started to write books, or before that, I don't think I have ever thought about how it's really like to write books. Basically, I thought that you could do it like on your spare time or whatever, I don't know, but it's a huge job to write books. And in my case, I do several things in my work. I do videos, and I write the blog posts, and I do the speeches, and I don't know everything, but writing books, you sometimes have to be very focused. So this year, this week, I am turning myself off the Swedish blog, and I will do a lot of Instagram updates instead, also in the English Instagram at Sara's Kitchen Garden, to finish this book. And it's about nice vegetable to start with in a new kitchen garden if you are a beginner, because I believe that's needed, right? And Cynthia, you and other readers and followers, you ask me about the English books, and not yet available in English, but this summer we had ourselves an agent, and this is something that the publisher will arrange. You get yourself, if you are writing on this very local language like Swedish, you have to have an agent, and that way kind of work yourself into the publishers in other countries. So that's what we are going to do this fall, where my agent is going to take part in like exhibitions and stuff like that about books, and try to find someone who wants to publish the books. Hopefully in English, we would love that. So not yet in English, but hopefully sooner or later. We don't know. The books have been very popular in Swedish. It's they describe the first book as like a classic garden book in Swedish, and I am amazed about that because everything is about this quite rough place. The kitchen garden that I have created. So this is a quite nice part of the garden, but I know that some of you have seen the backyard as well, like Lena and Nini, who has been here a few times. So you know how other parts in the garden looks like, and I think it's necessary for some of us to have like this quite organized place, and then you have the messy place, because I have this motto for me: I rather grow vegetables than not growing. So it's for me it's so important not only to get myself food for the family. It's important for me as a person to have this creative space where I can grow vegetables. It's it's like it's not only because because I need chard to eat. It's also because it's I like to be surrounded with all this beauty, and I like to see how things grows and develops, and I learn things constantly from this place. And I think I would have been like a poorer person if I didn't have the garden. And I'm sure that is the same with my friend Nini. You have seen her garden and the creativity that she has. All right, I will end with another tour for you guys who joined us a bit lately in this video. Whee! This is a mixed planting. It's a bit late in the season now, so it's everything is flowering. I will turn the camera. Mainly, it should be for the artichokes. Are they Jerusalem artichokes? I mix the name all the time. You can hardly see them in here because they didn't grow well at all. Hello, Poland. But I have beets, polka beets, and they are all flowering. Fennel, this amaranth. I have some physalis, lovely physalis, and leek, summer flowers, some squash. I simply put everything that I had left in this area. Oh, I have to comment on what Susie just said. Maybe it's possible to publish the books and then sell them directly through the website. And this is actually what we do in Swedish. The books are also available in all kinds of Swedish web stores and in the physical bookstores as well. And it goes very well. We do have this kind of base on sarabäckmo.com where it's possible to launch the web store, and that is what we are going to do then by or what do you call it, by next year. But we need to have the book like translated, and it's a huge work and it costs some money, and that is what we need help to do. It's been a thing I guess with the books that I base on my experience from 20 years working with media production in different ways, that I know exactly what I am good at, and I know the capacity that I have with like producing material and producing material that with quite good quality, and I don't want to reduce that quality by doing it myself, the parts that I cannot do. I mean, I am not a designer, I am not a translator, and I need to leave the material with a good quality so that people want to buy it, because otherwise I can't run my business. So I am waiting for, you know, that kind of chance to get the best company or publisher to work with, and then it will be all good, and then you will see the books in my web store, and that will be perfect. I also will publish a lot of articles, and I have like knitting patterns and stuff like that, and that's also a collab between me and Nini. because Nini is a great knitter as well. To be continued. Right, so the mixed areas here, I grow cucumbers and I have carrots. They are now finished. More carrots over here. And radishes and Chinese cabbage, black salsify, a lot of peppers. And as you can see, I grow them in the open. They had a rough start because of late frost in May. But now we will have so much pepper. And the thing you see on the ground is sheep wool. I use it for mulch. For some people, it is actually very, very surprisingly that you can grow pepper in the open in a country like Sweden. But it's all, as with all the kind of vegetable that I grow, it's a matter of, choosing the right variety. You have to read about the variety. You can't just pick a variety, seed packages in the grocery store or whatever and think that it will work, because they will all develop in a certain time and mature in a certain time. And if you choose like a late variety that is suitable for a warmer climate, it will never work. But we do have varieties very suitable for Swedish climate, also when it comes to like cucumber and chili and the pepper and tomatoes and everything. You have to read and know things about the varieties. I do not keep seeds or collect seeds myself. And this is a very common question that I get. And the reason why I do not keep seeds, except like peas and some beans that I want to keep, there are certain, do you say heritage varieties? That I want to keep, but the reason I don't keep it, because I am looking always for varieties that can stand the Swedish climate, because I want to extend the growing season. I want to start really early and I want to end the season really late. And you may not believe it, but we are in Sweden. We have really cold and we have very dark winters, and that's our main problem. People think that it's difficult to grow because it's like cold. It's not difficult to grow when it's cold. It's difficult to grow when it's dark, and this is my like special subject to talk about. And that's why I want to choose the varieties very carefully. I can show you here among the brassicas, for example. I have this low variety of kale. It's dwarf green curled. It's in my own seeds collection together with Nelson Garden. And it's a low variety. And the low variety is very easy to cover with, oh my God, what do you call it? This cloth fabric, and to give it a nice shelter when it's getting cold. So I use hardy varieties, but some vegetables, they are like cross-pollinated. So if I take my own seeds, I do not know what kind of vegetable I will end up with. I might lose that very specific thing that I was looking for in the beginning. The height maybe, or the hardiness, or whatever, slow bolting or something like that. So I am very carefully not to take my own seeds. I buy seeds that I can sort of count on. And in other climates, you may not have to be that careful, but in my climate, you certainly have to be careful. Now we are looking at the tomatoes. It doesn't look much to the world, and it's not a very successful area, unfortunately, this year because of this late frost. This is celeriac. It's one of my favorite root vegetables. It's a root celeriac and leek. And in here I have the tomatoes as well. This is from a garden friend, Åke Truedsson in Sweden. He's called the Tomato King. And in each bed here, I have 4 long beds. I grow tomatoes, but some of them are not going to make it. They do not develop, so I have removed plants. But in here, I have the bushy variety. One of them, I can't remember the name, but it's from Nikitovka seed in Ukraine, and it develops really well. I think I have some blight here. Damn, not good. I have not seen it before. But these plants, they are growing quite slow, and hopefully the summer will give me some tomatoes. I also have the soya bean here, and they are not growing well at all this summer. Here is a huge tomato. And also with tomatoes, I am very careful choosing the right varieties. Like in this case, I have checked for varieties suitable for growing in the open. So when I buy the seeds, I check for varieties that not specifically is told to be grown in a greenhouse, for example. But this year was a bit difficult, and I didn't spend that much time in the garden as I did the year before, for example. And the cold spring then made it very difficult. In this place, I grow beans and peas, and the tall beans are just developing and giving me some harvest. And here I grow a pea that I must harvest this week, and it's Blauschoker. I will try to open it for you. So I think this is a good example in vegetables suitable for our climate. Many people today are vegetarians. I am not a vegetarian, but we don't eat that much meat. Hi Grant White from New Zealand, Maria. So this little pea is something that you can actually grow instead of chickpeas. And you know, chickpeas, you can't grow it in Sweden with a good result, even if you choose a nice variety, because you don't get that much to harvest. But instead, if you grow this peas, this kind of peas, you can actually dry the peas and you can use them exactly the same way as with chickpeas, in like pots and mushed so that you can have on your sandwich, for example. So you simply have to get to know vegetables and choose the right vegetable for your own climate. This is a new area that I created this year, and this is quite funny because my only wish for this year was not to start any new projects. I don't know if you may have said the same to you yourself sometime. And so now we are standing in another new project for this year. Silly me, I created 2 new projects for myself, and this is a completely new area in my kitchen garden, and I love it. Now I will walk you through the greenhouse, and then I think you will get to see our beautiful dog Kuling. He's been very tired this morning. Hi, hey gubben. Oi. Kuling is a Newfoundland dog. Hey. Maybe he wants to go in for some breakfast, but oh, I will let him in. I just love Newfoundland dogs. Right, I will show you the backyard as well, since I mentioned it. About, you know, having an organized plot for my vegetables. But it also means that we have chaos on the backyard. And this is the children's place. They have this area with sand. And this is what they have created for themselves. It's some kind of farm. And this is the thing, you know, the silage they make from at the farm. So they have made plenty of these. I can't exactly describe it for you because I don't know all the words for farming things. But, well, and this is the hole they have digged for years. And they're building. They build almost a couple of hours each day on their project. I think it's amazing. And yes, Cynthia, as you said it, I am very proud that I can be this allowing, because they really enjoy it. And here is another hole that they have recently started to dig. It looks like shit. And I sometimes hate to see it. But Maria, as you say, they have great fun. And to me, I think when the kids are like older and they don't want to use that place, I mean, it's only to clear it up and just to go away to the recycling thing or just burn it. So it's not really a problem. I have my places in the garden and they have theirs for a couple of years, and it's fine like that. All right, so now we are in, or just outside my big polytunnel. And this is how it looks now in August. I have a few things in pots, but most of it grows directly into the ground. This is a bean. It's, oh my goodness, what do you call it? This white, huge bean that you dry. I think it's called Henderson Bush Bean. It's from rareseeds.com. I think it develops really fine. In here I have a lot of aubergine. You can spot some of them here. Tomatoes and oh, this poo you can see here is actually a sign of a caterpillar that I hate. I don't know. Oh, well. Lima beans. Thank you, Cynthia. Yes, lima beans. A lot of blackberries ripening just so well here in the polytunnel. It's amazing, and they are big. In the corner I have several varieties of peaches. And the frost took all the small peaches this year, so I don't have any. But there are Red Heaven, and then nectarine. I have a kiwi in the corner. I have, is it Frost? Yeah, it's Frost. And then an apricot over here, and then asparagus in between.